What is going on, everybody? Welcome into this week's episode of the Cash It podcast. We're a day late, but what are you going to do? The FSGA conference pulled me away. I'm Howard Bender, by the way. I got myself a little Adam Ronis here on the side, and we're back at it. Lots going on this week. You know, the NBA Finals closed out. Major League Baseball is obviously, continuing. There's some exciting stuff to talk about there. And then over at Fantasy Alarm, we just launched the start of our 2023 Fantasy Football Draft Guide, a living draft guide. You guys know what that's all about. The living draft guide. We've got the release right now, sleepers, busts, rookies, rankings are posted. There's all sorts of strategy articles, depending on, on what your league is. So there's lots of stuff going on over there at Fantasy Alarm. If you have not gotten yourself if you're not a subscriber and you haven't gotten yourself a copy of this draft guide, or you're not ready to take it, take us for a free spin. There's a 7-day free trial. Just go to fantasyalarm.com/draft guide, and that'll bring you to the draft guide homepage. You can click on that beautiful welcome letter in the front, little message from yours truly, and then get yourself in on this 7-day free trial. Check out the guide, or at least what's out there. Check out some of the stuff that we've got for this weekend for MLB and for DFS and betting content, and you'll be happy. Trust me, you'll be happy that you did. And if you subscribe, well, that's the easiest way to go about it, because the draft guide comes with the all-pro subscription. I'll throw it to you, fantasyalarm.com/Howard, and use that promo code Howard for 50% off your first 6 months. So that stuff's out of the way. Let's get to what's going on. Let's bring him in here, my man, Adam Ronis. What's going on, dude? It's a world without basketball for you right now. How are you coping?
Yeah, it's very weird because I've been used to having basketball almost every day for a while now, and that is not the case anymore. So just a heavy focus on baseball right now, football prep. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, and it's the summer as well, or close to it. It hasn't been the summer weather here yet. Only a couple days here on the East Coast. It's been like, in the 70s, which is nice, but still waiting for that real summer weather to hit.
You know what? Anytime it's above 65 degrees, it feels like summer to me. So, I don't know. You don't strike me as a beach guy, though.
Oh, I am, bro. I already went once on the Jersey Shore. I love the Jersey Shore, man. Just, it's so different. I'm used to growing up in New York, where it's like Jones Beach, Coney Island, Far Rockaway, and it's just the beach. There's nothing much there. Here in Jersey, you got like restaurants and a nice boardwalk. I love it, man. I just like to chill out, lay out in the sun, get some good stuff to eat. There's a nice restaurant I go to at the end of the day. So yeah, I make it but I'm not one of these people who goes to the beach early. People get there 8, 9 a.m. Fuck that. I get there like 1, 2 o'clock, bro. Like, people are leaving. I'm getting there. Just, you don't hit as much traffic, and I get there, get something to eat, lay out in the sun for a few hours, and then eat some good seafood before I head back. And then, this way you leave around 7, 8 o'clock. You don't hit any traffic. So that's the big thing. I hate fucking traffic, and I'm so glad that I'm not in New York anymore. Every time I go to New York, bro, the traffic is fucking horrendous, man. I had to take someone to the airport to get there at 2, and it took like 2 hours to get Jersey by MetLife to fucking JFK. It's horrendous, man. And that's not even mileage wise. It's not far. It's just, I know the traffic in California, or specifically, I guess, LA, everyone tells me about it. I've never been out there. They always say that's the worst. So I guess that's the case, but New York is just fucking horrendous too. And now they have these camera lights now that if you go above 25 miles per hour, you get a ticket.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, dude, it is horrendous. And then my friend sent me something the other day saying that they might lower it to 20. So, I mean, obviously they give you like, I don't know if they do it, it's 25, but obviously they give you like a little grace. I don't know if it's 35 where they ticket you, but like my mom, she doesn't drive anymore, but she did. and she does not speed at all. And she got one. She was going 38 in a 25, and she got hit with one. I mean, it's horrendous, man. I got one a few months back too, and I do have like the app up, so it'll tell you, speed trap ahead. But I guess in that case, it was probably going really slow, and I said I got to move a little bit, and I got hit with one. So yeah, it's horrendous out there in New York. I'm just glad that I don't have to drive there as much anymore.
You were probably like listening to the Mets game on the radio, and you were fully engrossed in a Dan Vogelbach at bat, and you probably just, got yourself all so enraged that you just couldn't even think straight. So you probably didn't see the speed trap warning for you, right?
Probably, yeah. I got distracted. I'm like, this fucking team,
dude. He hasn't played. I haven't seen Vogelbach in the lineup in a long time now.
Did you see what they said?
What'd they say? They said we're holding out hope for Luke Voigt.
They're giving him a mental break. They're trying to get him back on track. I'm like, could you just fucking cut the guy? Like, what has he done to deserve this shit? I don't get it.
Listen, he hasn't done anything. I'm glad that they're sitting him. I don't, the mental break for Vogelbach. I don't know. I mean, listen, you guys did sign Luke Voigt, and I guess he's just kind of getting his bearings in the minors right now. I'm not really 100% sure. Why I have to see Vientos batting ninth with his 178 batting average, playing first base for you guys.
Again, they don't give him a chance to play every day. You cannot get into a rhythm. Again, I don't know why he's up. If you're not going to play him, just put him down in the minor leagues. I mean, yeah. Alonso's hurt, and he still can't get everyday playing time. So, I mean, okay, he played June 14th, June 11th, the 9th, the 8th, the 4th, the 2nd. I mean, there's just no consistency there. I don't know how you expect him to get into a rhythm when he's not playing. To really judge him, give him 2 full weeks of everyday playing time. And if he continues to suck, all right, fine. But, you can't get into a rhythm when you're playing. You don't know, you're playing every few days. And then the one game you play him, who do you put him against? Garrett Cole. Yeah, good job. Really, way to evaluate him against one of the best pitchers in baseball. Smart fucking move. Yeah, I'll say this. We won't spend too much time on the Mets unless.
Really?
Unless people love
it's
hearing
so
me
much
fucking.
Fun.
Here's the thing about the Mets that really infuriates me more than anything else, besides the losing. They are such a flawed fundamental team right now, and I don't know what happened. Last year, they were smart. They did all the little things right. This year, it's the complete opposite. It's just so bad, from allowing Kiner Falefa to steal home on Wednesday to Brandon Nimmo getting, after singling with the bases loaded, gets thrown out trying to get back to second base because he was way past second base thinking Vientos was going to score. That ball was rocketed. How could Vientos score on that? It was rocketed to left, and the left fielder was shallow when he fielded it. There was no way Vientos was going to score. So this team just does dumb things, man. Just dumb things. It is one of those years where everything goes wrong. It can. Jeff McNeil got called for a violation of the shift. Like, I haven't even seen that this year. Have you
just
seen
mental mistakes, dude?
But he was barely over the bag, and the second baseman didn't call it. Second base umpire didn't call it. The home plate umpire did. And I haven't seen it called anywhere else this year. Have you?
No, I don't think I haven't seen a single shift violation call.
That's the first one that I know of. Maybe it's happened and I missed it, but I would figure someone would mention it somewhere on social media or would pop up in an article. I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot of pitch clock violations. I mean, it happens kind of consistently at this point. I seen it happen to, I think, Nimmo the other day on a strike 3. But that's the one thing that infuriates me about the Mets. They just are such a bad fundamental team right now. And they just find ways to lose. It doesn't matter. Like the Braves series, they had a 3-run lead in each game. They lost. So you can't blame the offense that series. Max Scherzer, it's fucking garbage, man. This guy ain't earning his money at all. You have a 5-1 lead against the Yankees, man, and you can't make it out of the 5th? Come on, man. And then the game before against the Braves, every big spot this guy's been in as a Met, he has flopped. So I'm sick of his ass, too. So they just find ways to lose, man. I'm surprised they beat the Yankees on Wednesday. I thought they were going to lose that game.
I thought they were going to lose that game too. I figured, it was. I thought I woke up this morning after thinking about it. And I was like, man, that's just it was just a terrible way to lose that game yesterday. But at least it'll put Adam in some respectable good mood here.
Not really. I mean, I think
no basketball. The Mets suck. What else is going on, man?
They're just a bad team, man. Like you got to be realistic here. This is just not a good baseball team. I don't know I guess part of it is Scherzer and Verlander. If they're not going to be good, and I don't know if Verlander pitched better on Wednesday against the Yankees, but if they're not going to be good, they're fucked. I already knew the lineup had flaws going into the year. I said they didn't do anything to bolster the lineup. Francisco Alvarez has been a bright spot.
He's been great, dude. Let's face facts. Now that he's gotten that the work, I mean that's immediate contention for Rookie of the Year. I mean, I know you got Corbin Carroll over there in the NL, and I know that you've got Jordan Walker, who has been he's sitting on an 8 or 9 game hitting streak right now. So there's stuff happening there, but
Carroll's
at least Alvarez is delivering for you.
Yeah, I think Carroll's pretty much a lock if he doesn't get hurt. I don't see how he doesn't win it. I know things can change. I know Ellie De La Cruz, obviously. I think the sports books did that because, again, they don't want a big liability. He was the talk pretty much as soon as he came up, and he's delivered. So he immediately went to second in the NL Rookie of the Year. And it was like, wait, what? But they don't want it to be a liability. So I'm looking now. Yeah, so it's Corbin Carroll minus 330 on DK, Ellie De La Cruz plus 600, Francisco Alvarez plus 2,500, Bobby Miller, who's been phenomenal, plus 2,500, Yuri Perez plus 4,000. Jordan Walker's he's plus 7,500.
Yeah.
But yeah,
which is great. I would sprinkle a little something there on Walker plus.
You know what though? So I know I'm a Mets fan, so maybe and I try to be objective as possible. But who is the bigger disappointment this year, the Mets or the Cardinals?
Oh, easily the Cardinals.
Okay, I mean
easily.
Is it easily though? The Mets have the highest payroll.
You know what? I mean, listen, the days of worrying about who's got the higher payroll. I mean, that's not. I mean, we've seen this now. We've seen high payroll teams not deliver. I think. When you're looking at what's going on with the Mets, I mean, I think that there's definitely there's some sort of an issue. Ironically, both teams having trouble with their managers. That's the interesting thing right there. But I have more confidence in Buck Showalter putting things together. Listen, Pete Alonso, Scherzer, Verlander. I mean, those we were expecting more out of those guys. That's definitely disappointing. But when you look at the rest of the lineup. I mean, okay, Lindor's really disappointing.
Yeah, the home runs are there, but the average isn't.
Yeah, batting average is terrible. But the rest of the team, man, I mean, there's not, now Alvarez is playing well, but there's still a lot of holes around that team that I think are, the same way. With the Cardinals, I mean, come on, you got Goldie and Arenado. I mean, you know what it is for the Cardinals? Their pitching is just
terrible. Yeah, I mean, the pitching is just not good. But dude, this team, man, and the Mets play the Cardinals this weekend. You talk about a disastrous teams. Like someone's got to win those games.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
But I was watching the Cardinals on Wednesday afternoon, and it was 5-3 in the ninth. Gallegos 2-2 pitch. Yeah. Yastrzemski home run, and of course they lose in extra innings. I mean, they're 15 games under 500. They're 8.5 out because it's a shitty division. So we have had this conversation. So let's talk about it again. NL Central, I say you have to make a bet right now on who to win the division. Who are you betting? These are the odds.
Brewers. I see him. I'm looking at him right now, man. It's hysterical. Go ahead.
Brewers minus 120, Pirates plus 550, Cubs plus 550, Cardinals plus 600, Reds plus 800. I think I might like the Reds the most.
I like the Reds the most, and I actually sprinkled a little half unit on the Reds yesterday because it was at plus 1,000 yesterday.
Ooh, I have a free bet. Maybe I should just throw it on that.
I mean, listen, yesterday the Brewers were minus 120. The Pirates were minus, I think the Pirates were minus 550 still. The Cubs were, the Cardinals were at plus 600, but then the Cubs, they were at like plus 750, and then the Reds were at plus 1,000. So we're seeing constant movement going on here. I mean, I threw the half unit on the Reds because at least I know that their offense, they're pitching suspect. We'll see what happens with Ashcraft if he ever, I don't know, gets his head out of his ass. But Hunter Green and Andrew Abbott are solid. But obviously the question is, and you had chimed in about how great Bobby Miller was looking, and I absolutely love that because I have Bobby Miller in a couple of places. The problem for me also is wondering what kind of an innings cap are a lot of these kids going to get, and then once we get down to like mid-August, what are we going to do? What are the Reds going to do with Andrew Abbott? Do you push the kid, or do you have to hold them back a little bit?
Yeah. Plus, there's the potential for Nick Lodolo to come back. It might be August. I think obviously the ballpark hurts those pitchers big time. That's why I'm really lukewarm on taking Reds pitchers. In fact, I don't think I have Lodolo in labor, and it wasn't like it was an auction. So I think I went to 7 or 8. It stopped. I'm like, okay, he wasn't really a target for me. I have no Hunter Green. I didn't get Abbott anywhere. I think their other concern is Diaz has been lights out, but leading up to him, I think is a problem. But then again, like all these teams in the division have flaws. I mean, the Brewers, Corbin Burns has turned it around. He's been better. Does Woodruff come back? That's a big question mark. Peralta has not been good lately. I know I have him in leagues. He's just been really shaky. The lineup has been up and down. I mean, the Pirates, I don't think anyone buys them continuing this. And
no, I don't think so. I don't think so either. And they've got Mitch Keller at the top of that rotation. They don't really have anybody else. Oviedo, Ortiz, they just don't have anything there.
And again, with the Cardinals, like you're like, well, they have talent, they have experience, but they just can't put anything together. I mean, they have the second worst. Actually, they have the worst winning percentage in the National League. The worst. That is insane. They're 391. Nationals are 394. Rockies are 414. That is just insane. But they can actually still win this division. I know it sounds crazy. They're only 8.5 out, and all these other teams are just not good. But they just can't put it together. This is now they've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 10 of their last 12. So they just can't put it together at all. So
I think what I also find absolutely crazy is that no team in the Central has a positive run differential. Yeah. Like that's a big deal. And you look at the East also, and only the Braves have the positive run differential. And I mean, that's just, I find that unnerving. I mean, and you kind of look at it and you see the Marlins and the Phillies. Well, the Phillies, I guess they just, they're at 500. The Marlins are 7 games above 500 with a negative 30 run differential. Like you just know it's not going to last. So when you're looking at the run differentials in the Central, the Cubs -1, Pirates are -10, Cardinals are -13. So what happens with Milwaukee? Because I think Milwaukee's got pitching, but they don't have offense. The Braves have offense; they don't have pitching.
The Braves?
I mean the Reds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean. Look, they're the exciting young team right now. McLean has come up and done well. Ellie De La Cruz, Encarnacion Strand could be there. You mentioned Abbott. And they have won 5 in a row, but 2 against the Cardinals, and they swept the Royals. I mean, the Royals now are like the worst team because the A's all of a sudden can win games. The A's had a nice 7-game win streak there.
Dude, you know how annoying that 7-game win streak was? I mean, from a betting standpoint.
Oh, because you were betting on the other teams?
Well, I mean, at the start of it, I was.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you for that. I can't blame anyone.
No, I mean, it's a no-brainer kind of a thing. And listen, I'm actually betting against the A's today. Adam and I are actually recording here on Thursday, June 15th, because of the FSGA conference. But I threw a bet in against the A's because they finally lost. And I think we're back on track with that with the A's because, the hot hitters have like definitely cooled off. Brent Rooker looks terrible again. And it's not a good team. It's not at all. And I think they had this they had this brief momentum as they were doing the reverse protest and trying to, show that, they can fill the stadium and, that whole thing. Did you see all that stuff?
Yeah, where they were quiet.
It's so stupid. It was like, yeah, okay, you guys filled the ballpark for what, a day? You didn't even fill the ballpark. You put 27,000 people in there. So you didn't fill the ballpark, and you're talking about who gives a shit? Where the fuck were you people, for the last 10 years? Like, stop with this reverse protest bullshit. Just move the fucking team.
I think it's on ownership, though. They have done nothing to put a team that's competitive on the field. And what they've done this year is embarrassing. I can't blame fans for not going. And it's a shitty ballpark. You said you've been there, right?
Oh, dude, the ball E. coli stadium, dude.
Yeah.
They still got they still have a big trough for you to take a piss in.
Yeah, they have a possum in the fucking visitors broadcast booth that lives there. I mean, so I can't blame the fans. What they've done with this team is just embarrassing. So, but yeah, I mean, they've been a great team to bet against outside of these recent 7-game winning streak, but they actually have a better record than the Royals now.
But the Royals, and they got no hope now, man. Fucking, they lost Pasquantino, is going to be done for the season now. I mean, you got Bobby Witt and nobody else. There's nobody. Sal Perez, I guess. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, Sal.
Yeah, even Melendez has been a disappointment this year. So, yeah, they're really embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy though. The NL Central and the AL Central too. Another shit division. They do have one team with a plus differential. It's the Twins at plus 44, but everyone else is 5 games below 500 or more. I mean, and the Twins are just 2 games over. So the thing is, you're probably gonna have a couple good teams miss the playoffs because the Central divisions in each league have to get one team in.
Yeah. You're gonna end up losing the back end wild card team, probably. No doubt. I mean,
like the Blue Jays, Angels, I mean, right now, obviously it could change and teams can fall apart, other teams can rise. But yeah, you're going to have a pretty good team miss the postseason because you have to get in the Central Division winner.
It's unreal. And you know what? It's kind of looking, I mean, when you're sitting there and you're talking about, if we're looking at team futures and we're looking at possible winners of the season, I mean, it doesn't seem as wide open as it usually does. I guess because those divisions are just so piss poor. But like I look in the American League, and you got the Rays and the Rangers, who are the class of the league. Astros look good. Angels look good. The Orioles look good. So yeah, and then you got like you said, Yankees, Toronto. These are teams that are going to be sitting on the fringe of the wild card and end up losing out because you got the fucking Twins that need to get in, or whoever it's going to be from that side. Kind of the same shit that we're looking at with the NL West as well, because you've got these teams here. Look at that. Every team except for the Rockies has a positive, like a really strong positive run differential, plus 27 or higher. And, you got teams that are starting to surge. The Padres have woken up. They're getting everybody healthy. The Giants still seem to be piecing together wins here and there. So it's like one of those teams, if they don't really make a move inside their division and or needing the Diamondbacks to collapse, you're going to end up losing out.
Yeah, I mean, the Padres have really started to put it together because they were in that conversation, I think, for most disappointing team, but they won 7 of 10. Tatis has been unbelievable. I look back and I'm like, I probably should have taken him in the middle of the second round in the draft. I've been a big Fernando Tatis guy. I took him number 1 overall in Tout Wars last year, and I still was in contention. I obviously didn't win, getting nothing from him the entire year, but I was a little worried about the injuries. The suspension, not as much, because we knew he was coming back April 20th, but it kind of, multiple injuries, wrist, shoulder, but he's been fine. And I look back at a draft I did, and I took Mike Trout in that middle of the second. Tatis went in the second round, and if I could do it over again, I'd take Tatis, no doubt. I mean, I was talking about this on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio on Wednesday night. Mike Trout right now, he's not a dominant fantasy player, man. I know there's still time, and you look at his numbers, and you're like, oh, what are you talking about? He's hit for power. He doesn't steal bases anymore. He has 1 steal. It came the other day. And his average in OBP is not even great anymore. It's 252 average, 359 OBP. I mean, this is a guy that used to be a lock for over 400. And I know he could easily turn it around, but we haven't seen him go on the IL yet either. So, I mean, he has 14 homers, 37 RBIs, and 252 average with 1 steal. There's several guys who do that. Like Tatis has better numbers, and Tatis missed games. I mean, you have to take Tatis over Trout right now. I don't even think it's a conversation.
Yeah, I don't think that's a conversation either. I think that's I'm pretty etched in stone on that one as well. As much as I love Mike Trout, I would much rather have Tatis, no doubt.
Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Trout is just not a dominant fantasy player right now. I mean, it could, last year he had 40 homers in 119 games. He's got 14 and 65. He doesn't run. And again, they're good numbers, but they're not superstar fantasy numbers anymore. And I know, again, it's only 65 games. We could look back at the end of the year and be like, oh, wow, he had 40 home runs again. He stayed healthy. And I'm rooting for them. And I want the Angels to make the playoffs, man. I mean, we need Ohtani and Trout in the postseason, man. I mean, it's got to happen.
So badly. I agree with you there.
Do you? Because I figured you would want Ohtani on the Yankees. And I mean, so at this point, do you think I don't know if you've had this conversation with Jim Bowden recently, but at this point, I think they're not trading him. I think they're going to stay in contention, and they're going to try and make moves and say, hey, look, Shohei, we can win here. We want you to be a big piece of it. There's obviously a lot of rumors that he's leaving, but have you guys talked about it recently? Does Jim think he's getting traded this year?
Well, I mean, Jim said if he excuse me, if they do fall out of contention, then they will explore, but they're not making any decisions right now until much closer to the trade deadline because of the way things are right now. So, I mean, he thinks that they would if they fall out of contention because, I think what he's not sure about is whether or not really Ohtani's going to stay next year. Is Moreno going to pony up the money necessary to keep him? Can he pony up the money necessary to keep him there? I mean, we're talking about, right, $500 million for the contract, $600,000, $600 million for a deal for Ohtani at this point. I mean, how do you not, command not just the highest paid player in the game, but by a significant margin?
Yeah, but he pitches and hits and does both at an elite level. So
right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, take the salary, take a contract for the number one pitcher in the game and take a contract for the number one hitter in the game. I mean, what are we looking at? We're looking at like Juan Soto's contract plus who's the top priced pitcher out there right now? Did the Mets do that to Scherzer or Verlander?
Well, are you looking at on a per annual basis? They don't have long-term deals. Scherzer's was 3 years for like 90.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, all right. So
is it Garrett Cole?
It's probably Garrett Cole. Combine Cole's contract and Juan Soto's contract, and that's what Shohei Ohtani deserves. You can field one guy. That's it. I don't know what to do. In all honesty, man, I would love to see the Angels just make some sort of a commitment, right? Just make that commitment. You've got Trout, you've got Ohtani, you've got Trout locked into a long-term deal. Come on, you can find a way to beef up the rest of that roster. I think you can.
Ohtani just generates so much too, man. Like he's such an exciting player to watch. And I was checking the other day, the Angels are coming to Citi Field. I have to go watch him play. Got to see him in person.
Absolutely. I didn't even, it's so funny, man. I hate going to Giants games so much that I don't even think about it, but I guess I kind of have to. I have to see if the Angels are going to be there and if so, when, and can I make that game?
Yeah, I think the Angels were coming, I believe it was August to Citi Field. So I think it was, unfortunately, it's a fantasy football draft weekend, but I can maybe do the Friday night because I'm pretty sure that Saturday, Sunday, I'll probably have drafts. I think it's the weekend before Labor Day. So, that's going to be a big fantasy football draft weekend. My guess is that might be when the GST draft is too, just based on what we've done in the past. So, but yeah, I want to go see him. And look, I was thinking about this the other day. I know injuries are a big factor. How is it? I don't think there's any way that Shohei Ohtani doesn't win the AL MVP and Ronald Acuna doesn't win the NL MVP.
Yeah, they both kind of look like runaways on that front. I mean, I guess if Tatis were to continue this tear that he's on right now and carry this through the end of the season, and I don't know if Acuna, let's say, tweaks his hammy or something like that and goes down, you could see that kind of a shift. But yeah, I agree with you. I think
Acuna is minus 140 right now. I actually think that's value, to be honest. I get it. You need him to stay healthy. Freddie Freeman's plus 500. Mookie Betts is plus 1,000. Corbin Carroll, who's been amazing, plus 1,500. Wait, Luis Arias plus 2,500? What the fuck? Oh my! Please don't waste your money on that bullshit. Tatis plus 3,000. Soto plus 35.
Oh, see, Tatis plus 3,000 intrigues me.
Yeah. Do you think
I would sprinkle a half unit onto Tatis there.
Do you think the writers would have an agenda though because he got caught cheating?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh, those fucking writers.
Yeah.
Those stodgy old pieces of shit just ruining it all for.
And then in Ohtani's minus 250, Judge is plus 800, Semien plus 2,500, Wander Franco plus 3,000, Trout plus 3,000, Bichette plus 3,000.
What's Corey Seager?
Wait, where is he here?
Exactly.
Wait, he's got to be higher. Am I missing it? I don't even. Oh, plus 6,000.
Wow.
I mean, he did miss games, but still, he's been fucking amazing. I think
we're looking at a career overall year. Maybe he doesn't get up to the 30 home runs, the 33 home runs he hit last year, but I mean, even if he gets close to 30, I think that's a huge win.
Yeah, right, you're right. Like, there's guys above him that I don't get. Like Matt Chapman plus 5,000, Vlad plus 4,000, Arozarena plus 3,500. I get Arozarena is good, but I don't know. Yeah, that's, I guess, because of the missed games. But even Trout plus 3,000. Really? I mean, he's not had a special year. He's not. I mean, Seager's been better. I know Seager's played less games, but
yeah, no,
but
it's name recognition.
Yes, it's the liability. If they put Trout at plus 6,000, people will flock to bet him, and then the books are like, well, what if he goes on a surge, and then now we're at a loss here. So that's definitely why. It's the name.
Yeah, it's definitely the name there, and they want to kind of keep that under wraps. So, how's all this doing for you fantasy baseball wise? I know your home league, you were struggling there, but you were starting to kind of make a little bit of a comeback. How's your fantasy teams doing? Yeah,
that team's in third place. So
get out of here.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that league? You guys all listen to us here on the podcast. What the fuck are you letting Adam get back into this shit for?
But I'm kind of, I just made a trade sacrificing the future. Although all the teams around me made a deal. The team in first got basically Mike Trout for Colton Cowser because the guy's rebuilding. And part of me was like, damn, that's not enough. And then I'm like, I don't know, Mike Trout's not, he's mediocre right now. I would still take him, but I'm still 20. Wait, damn, I'm 22 out of first, so I'm still kind of well behind. But a team behind me just traded Corbin Carroll, who's $5 next year, for Goldschmidt, Betts, and Seager, bro.
Goldschmidt, Betts, and Corey Seager?
Yeah.
Oh, see, like that kind of stuff, man. I don't even care how much Betts and Seager are. I think that's just, I see. We've had this conversation here on the pod before, and it's just, I mean, that's just.
I mean, the trade I
no
made,
wonder you had to make a move and do something.
I made the move first. So I traded Yuri Perez, who next year can either be kept for as a minor leaguer for no salary, or if you call him up, be kept at 5 for next year. I traded him for Josh Hader and David Bednar because I have no closers right now. I have Ryan Helsley going to IL. So I need closers, and there's nothing on Waiver. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in the top 3 right now. Top 3 get paid. So whenever I'm near the top, I go for it. So my other two prospects that I can trade are Louis Matos, who just got called up by the Giants. He's a good pickup, and Ricky Tiedemann for the Blue Jays. They're top arm, so I might have to look to move those guys. But yeah, the guy wanted all three of those prospects for me. This is what pisses me off. The guy clearly doesn't want me to win. He makes that deal, right? And for me, he wanted for Devin Williams, he wanted like all of my prospects. I'm like, really, man? For Devin Williams, that's all you're gonna give me? Like, come on, man. Like, it's just not fair. And then like one trade was like, he asked for Alonso and McClanahan for like his closer. I'm like, this is insane. And then you make that deal. It's like, okay, I see. You just don't want me to win.
Wow. Do we want to call this person out right now?
Nah, fuck him. He knows if he's listening.
I mean, I guess everybody in your league knows based on the personnel that we're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
whatever did happen to chasing saves on the waiver wire this year, dude? Holy shit! There's nothing out there.
No, it's been really, really bad, and I can tell you in some leagues I'm really good at closers, others I'm not. Like Tout Wars. So let me check now, because Tout Wars I'm having a very good year, but if I tell you this, so you're gonna be like, wait, what the fuck? So in Tout Wars, I came into today with 111 points, 15-team league. So where would you say
15-team mixed league, right?
Yeah, 15-team mixed league draft Tout Wars. So where would you think, if I told you I have 111 points, what place in the standings would you think I would be?
A 15-team or 111? Yeah. I would say you're probably like second or third.
Okay, and how far out of first would you say? 111.
I don't know, maybe 3-4 points.
I have 111 points, and I am 21 points out of first.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, bro.
Who's in first?
Seth Trackman has 132 points.
How does Seth have so many points?
I have no fucking idea. So, like, because my team, I'm first in wins, second in ERA, first in whip, second in strikeouts. I need a second closer, though. I have Felix Bautista, and that's really it. I had Dylan Floro, and he doesn't have the job anymore. I have Michael King. I didn't even have him active this week for that save. And I'm low in power. I only have 4 points in power, but I am first in steals by 14 because I have Ruiz and Acuna. So I need to trade Ruiz for a power bat. But this dude is just so far ahead. And I look at his team, and I'm like, I guess Semien, McCarthy, Soto, Josh Lowe, Varsho, Yandy Diaz, Siri, Gorman, who has cooled off. Pitching, Holmes, Ober, Glasnow, Wheeler, Alexis Diaz, Herman, Kershaw. He had Lynch in the lineup this week, and I still can't fucking make ground up. Whitlock, who's been great. Louis Varland. So he had Eduardo Rodriguez go down. Shit, man. I mean, you hear it on paper. You're like, oh, okay, it's good, but that dominant. But I guess when you have no holes at this point, Nate Lowe, Gleyber Torres. So, yeah, there's really Brian Reynolds. So a lot of good, solid players in a 15-team league, you know. Varsho and Ruiz, a catcher, is good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was looking at like FSGA, which is a 14-teamer.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Howard Kamen from, him and Steve Gardner run the USA Today team. And he was complaining that his team was like, sitting in the in the basement so much. And I was looking at his team, and I'm like, damn, look at he was talking about, wanting to make a trade. And I was like, well, can we? You're actually, he's the commish. So I had to email him on that one again. But, he's sitting there with, Trout, Soler, Machado, who's obviously been banged up, Tyro Estrada on the team. He's got McClanahan and Eflin. And I was like, how is this? What's that?
And is in last place?
He's in like third to last, fourth to last. I mean, catches are Grandal and Cal Raleigh. He's got Lamonte Wade at first, Dubon at second.
Oh, lack of power.
Yeah, Estrada, Paredes, Rosario, Machado. Then he's got McCarthy, Peterson, Rooker, who's now been shit now.
It has to be low in power and probably average.
Yeah. I mean, he's down there. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to kind of make a little bit of a move. If I can make a trade with him, I'd be super stoked.
You said you're first in that league?
Dude, not only am I in first, man, but I'm sitting there with like a 12.5 point lead.
Yeah, but that's nothing this time of year. You know that.
No, I know, but like the top 5 teams, top 4 teams, it's me, Ray Flowers, Scott Swaine, and the boys from Baseball HQ. So Brent Hershey running that team, and the 4 of us have been kind of flip-flopping around. But I guess it was probably about a week and a half ago, and all of a sudden, I not only did I move into first, but like all of a sudden, like I started extending this big lead. All of a sudden my guys started hitting for power. So, so all of a sudden it was like, completely jacked up. But now I'm like, sitting at this point, I got to maintain. So now it's a matter of, if I can trade, I don't have enough fab to like really compete for a lot of fab bidding as the season moves forward. But, if we can trade, I'll probably be trying to worm some things around here and make it happen.
Yeah, it's similar in my league too. It's like the top 4, maybe 5 have kind of going back and forth. I'm currently in second, 4 out of first. I really like my team. It's just, I guess, a little low on average and power, but I guess I stacked the Braves here. I have Albies, Acuna, Arcia, Eddie Rosario, Strider.
Dude, what Spencer Strider, last 2 starts, dude. Obviously been miserable. I asked Bowden this the other day. Is the arm getting tired? And if so, how concerned are we?
Well, if you look at a lot of the underlying numbers over the last couple starts, it's some bad luck. Strand rate is high. He's given up home runs. I think I tweeted it out yesterday. I think it's 12 home runs now over his last 6 starts. For some reason against the Mets, he doesn't pitch well. If you look at his career numbers against the Mets compared to everyone else, he dominates everyone else. And for some reason, the Mets hit him well. That was one of the starts. My concern about Strider before the year, because I saw a lot of people taking him end of first, early second. And I'm like, how many innings are you expecting this guy to throw? We saw he did not pitch in the postseason. I forgot what the injury was. Something, right? Arm related. I forgot what it was, but he didn't pitch. And last year was his rookie year, and he threw 130 innings. So it's like, okay, how many?
He should be fine for this year.
Right. I mean, okay, fine. What are you going to get? 170, 180? I mean, you usually, if you take a pitcher that early, you want 200 innings. And I understand there's very few guys now. Because if you look at some of the pitchers right now, most people would have said 2 weeks ago, Strider's number 1 rest away. Obviously, there's a question mark now. Is it Cole? I guess maybe Cole. I mean, it's not Burns. He has turned it around. So we've just seen pretty much every pitcher kind of get blown up this year. But so with Strider, I was just like, I can't take him there. The leagues I have him, the FSGA, I had picked 2. He came back. No, actually, I took Acuna at 2. Devers came back to me. I'm like, I can't pass Devers up. And Strider was there at 3-2. I'm like, all right, I can't pass him up here. And then in labor was an auction. I went to 25. And the bidding stopped. I'm like, okay, I'll take him. Like, he wasn't in my plan at all, but I was in it on the bidding. I'm like, 25, 12-team league? All right, I'll take him. So I wasn't targeting him. It had to be at the right price. And I felt in those 2 leagues it was. But I was a little concerned. And the other thing, too, with him, he walks a lot of guys, and he doesn't go past the 6th inning a lot. I think he's done it off the top of my head 2 or 3 times this year. Like, I know we have to change our standards, but that's not a lot for a guy that you took end of first, second round. And like, I want more than that. And one thing I've been looking at, I forgot to play it yesterday because I think the game was early. He's been going over 1.5 walks consistently. So that's you're usually getting, most pitchers are at 1.5. If you're a guy that consistently goes over it, they'll juice it up. But I do look at walk props, and Strider is one that I look at now because he goes over it consistently. I think
that's why I asked if we thought that he was going to end up with like some sort of dead arm, and if they go to like a try to go into like a 6-man rotation to spare some guys some wear and tear towards the playoffs, because giving up more home runs and walking batters is a sign of tired arm, and your command and your control is just not what it should be. At that point, and to see that happen here, I mean, it's only mid-June. I mean, yeah, can I see a guy, appearing tired the week before the All-Star break because he knows, he's got that extra time off? Yeah, I mean, that I've seen that a billion times. But to see a guy like Strider, and I'll tell you what, I think that just, I mean, what we've seen this year is going to take all the, you got to draft, top starting pitching early. I think it's going to push those truthers over the edge. And I think we're going to end up seeing a lot more waiting on starting pitching moving forward as we have in the last, I don't know, 5 years, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely going to happen if this trend continues. I will say this. So over the last 9 starts, he's got a 5.55 ERA. The issue is the walk rate, 9.1%, but 2.88 xFIP in that span, still a 37.2% strikeout rate, a 347 batting average of balls in play. So it's some bad luck, and the velocity was slightly down. I mean, about a mile per hour on the fastball. So I still think he'll be fine the rest of the way, but I think the Braves will be in a position. Well, I guess things could change. I was going to say, because you mentioned, resting, go to a 6-man rotation. The Braves might be in a spot late in the year where they can do that. Mm-hmm. You got to think, though, that some team's going to make a push. I mean, we saw the Phillies do it last year. Maybe they get hot again. If Nola turns it around, Wheeler's been good lately. Then you still got to worry about home field advantage. But it's possible. I mean, and they're still doing this without Max Fried and Kyle Wright, too. But their offense is so good, man. We both said it before the year. Like, did we wind up picking the Braves to win the World Series in that FSGA prop draft?
That's actually a really good question. I don't recall. I feel like we did, but here, let me go to it right now, and I'll tell you what we.
I know we had McClanahan, Cy Young, which looks good right now, and we had Corbin. We had Corbin Carroll and Jordan Walker Rookie of the Year. We had Volpe Rookie of the Year, which doesn't look good at all right now.
No, it does not. We had the Bucks winning the East. That screwed us. We do have the Braves winning the whole thing at plus 750.
Okay, and I know we have Olsen to lead the NL in home runs, and with Alonso going down, that's certainly a possibility. Although Jorge Soler, who we mentioned on this podcast endlessly, you better have Jorge Soler on your fucking fantasy teams if you listen to this.
Dude, it's unreal, right?
Yeah.
The dude just keeps jacking home runs.
I have him in at least 3 of. I know I have him in FSGA, GST, TGFBI. I feel like somewhere else too, but he was a target for me. I'm like, you're getting an elite power hitter late in drafts. This guy has hit over 40 home runs before. He was clearly not healthy last year. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking him, and he's just been unbelievable. 20 home runs now, and the average is good too. It's in the 250s, which. That was the one question with him. This guy could hit 220, but yeah, he's been great.
What could happen here? We could end up getting screwed. You know who could end up winning this one?
Fensty, because he got the Vegas Knights.
He got the Golden Knights at plus 1,300. Then he got him to win the West at plus 500 as well. I mean, I think he'll hit his Orioles over the win total. Freddie Freeman is a beast. That's going to be a strong competition for most RBI. He needs 30 home runs from Acuna. Holy shit! I will piss my pants if Justin Fensterman wins this one because of the Golden Knights.
Yeah, right. Because he's a real hockey guy. I wonder who helped him with that one.
You know what, man? That was I won money on the Stanley Cup. Just betting this the series. Everybody, every single hockey pundit. Sidebar here from our fantasy baseball talk, but every pundit that I spoke to kept telling me how how wrong I was for saying that. You know what, Bobrovsky with a 10-day layoff in between series. I was like, I just don't see him being able to catch it. And that's exactly what happened. They got blown out in the first couple of games. Game 3. Yeah, was it game 3 that
he got pulled?
No, he got pulled in game 2, actually. That was that one. I'm trying to think. They won it in 5.
They won game 3. Right? They won game 3. Then they were 2-1.
They were up. Yeah, was it? Was that what it was? I think that. Yeah. It was game 3 because I had that parlay up on the Better Bet for the email that went out, and I said I was taking in Game 3. I took Florida on the money line. I took the under 6 goals, and then I said Bobrovsky with over 28.5 saves. Now at home, on average, the Panthers goalies were making 33 saves per game. Just a much more defensive mind when they're at home. So that was the parlay. Bobrovsky blew that one for me. Well, I mean, I needed it to go like 5 minutes more in overtime. I just needed a couple of more shots on goal, and I would have been easy there. But I was like, that was going to happen. And then after that, fucking Vegas Golden Knights were just going to go right back to bitch slapping them all over again. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, come on, 9 goals to win the cup? 9?
Yeah. I mean, we had 2 finals that were not very competitive in the NBA and NHL, both in 5 games.
Yeah, they both. It was so funny too, because we were kind of hoping that maybe Miami picked it up a little bit and gave a better run to the Nuggets. But I think you said Nuggets in 5 or 6. And I said that the Golden Knights were going to win, and I think I said they were going to win it in 6. And then all of a sudden, when I saw the way it kind of spilled out for the first 2 games, I was like, this one's going 5 at the most. That's it. So yeah, we got great playoffs all around from NBA and NHL, and each sport got shitty finals.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see if you like to watch competitive finals. There's no doubt both were pretty decisive.
Not great, Bob. Not great. All right. Well, I mean, listen, we got, there's so much still happening, still to come. We got lots of baseball talk. Adam's got his waiver wire articles over at fantasyalarm.com. So I don't know, anybody that you're eyeballing here so far. I think who'd you just mention, but you said Luis Matos.
Yeah, he's going to be the big
Giants
this
Who
weekend.
else are you looking at?
Yenier Diaz, if you need help at catcher. He's getting more playing time, but Yordan Alvarez is out. He's been DHing a little bit. So I think he's someone you could look at. Cutter Crawford might still be out there. I know he wasn't great in his last start, but I think he can be pretty good. Yeah, I mean, because this past weekend, outside of the because Ellie De La Cruz was available in some leagues where you have to wait to get called up. He was the big pickup, but outside of that, it wasn't a big weekend for like big names at all. Someone that you can pick up who might be back soon, he's rehabbing now, Tariq Skubal. If you have the ability to stash, I think he's someone that you could look at. He's rehabbing right now, so he could be back pretty shortly. I'm trying to think who else did I have. Who did I have in Tuesdays? Because some of those guys could still be out there. I know there was a couple of below the radar names.
Take a look right now. Going over, you go to fantasyalarm.com and right there, the waiver wire article. It's right there in the menus. Waiver pickups. Well, you got a little Joey Weimer on the cover. So Ozuna.
He's still low on Ozuna. I don't get it. 40% Yao, 15 ESPN. This guy's been like one of the best hitters over the last month.
I think everybody still just hates him because he's a piece of shit in real life.
I look past that. Oh, here, Braxton Garrett, 35% in Yahoo, 60% ESPN. He's been great.
He's been amazing. The strikeout numbers are crazy.
I think I picked him up like a month ago in Labor. That's a 12-team league. I was like, oh, thank you.
Is Julian? You got Edouard Julien in here. Is he coming back up?
He's already up.
Oh,
Polanco's
out. That's right. Jesus, Polanco.
I mean, Buxton did get activated today from the IL.
All right. So yeah. I mean,
and Tommy Pham in deeper formats. He's actually hitting the ball really hard for the Mets, and he's been playing pretty much every day. So I think short-term play to plug the gap if you have some injuries. I mean, we did see a lot of players land on the IL this past week. Yordan Alvarez, Pete Alonso, Ryan Helsley. So, Jack Sawinski's heating up if he was dropped.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I maybe was it FSGA that I drop Sawinski?
Me too. Like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm like, he's ice cold. I'm like, see ya.
I did. Yeah, he went ice cold, and I got rid of him. So yeah, I might have to take a look at him and pick him back up. In that league there, I lost Jazz Chisholm. CJ Crone's been out and hurt. So I've just kind of been patching things up with a couple of guys who have just kind of, they've done well, but there hasn't been, there's nobody on there who I'm like, wow, that's going to be like sustained power, and that's gonna help me out. Even Jose Abreu, who's got 3 home runs in his last 5 games.
He's all of a sudden picked it up, because I do have him in a few leagues, and it's been a hellacious year for him. But
horrible, yeah. Oh.
He's definitely picked it up. Grayson Rodriguez is another dominant starter in AAA. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 11 Ks, 2 walks. So he could be back up soon. And sometimes, you go through the struggles in the majors, get called back up, and you figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it's tough finding pitching though in the deeper formats. That's the one thing. It's just there's not a lot of arms out there right now. And as you mentioned, finding saves on the waiver wire this year has been really difficult. I'm sure Kendall Graveman is rostered in most leagues, with Liam Hendricks being hurt. But the problem is too, you have several teams where you really don't want anyone. Like Colorado, you don't want anyone at this point.
No.
Oakland, I know Trevor May had a few saves recently, but his walk rate is terrible. And we know.
And when is he going to get like any kind of an opportunity for consistent saves again?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a 7-game winning streak, but we're probably not going to see a 3-game winning streak from them again this year.
All right, give me, from all of your fantasy teams here, all of them, think about it. Your best player at your lowest pick. Like, start with like the last round of your draft, round 26 or whatever, and kind of work your way back a little bit. Think about those players. Who's been your best player for your lowest draft pick? I've got 2 that I absolutely.
Okay, so not free agent, someone I drafted.
Right. Yeah, somebody you drafted.
All right, I'm going to look at like player rating and see. So I'm off the top. I think it's Jorge Soler.
Okay.
Let me see. Tyro Estrada, but no, that was 14th, 15th. So no. Soler was like, so I think it's Soler. On the hitting side, I didn't get any Yandy Diaz. I'm so disgusted. Well, I mean, how am I supposed to know he's going to fucking change his launch angle?
It is age 31 season.
Yeah, I think it's Soler.
Okay, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna, it was a great pickup.
Let me see if I can find a
picture. Cost you what, like 22nd, 23rd round?
Yeah, pitching wise, I don't have any Mitch Keller. Zach Eflin didn't go that far, right? No.
He was probably like high teens.
John Gray didn't go that far. I have a lot of John Gray.
Yeah.
Michael Wacha, maybe.
That's one of mine.
And I can't believe he has a 2.89 ERA and a 106 WHIP.
But how about this? You take what he did last year for the Red Sox. And now this was going into last night's start. I'm having this conversation with Bowden because here's what happened is that when we were doing the Front Office Insights podcast over at for the MLB Draft Guide, we go through each team or whatever, and I said, I'm always like, give me one sleeper and one bust at the end of it. And we got to the fucking Padres, and the sleeper that he gave me was Wacha. And he said, he was like, listen, he's not going to cost you anything in drafts. Nobody believes in this guy. But, you look and see what he did last year against, for Boston, and now you're putting him into a much better park. You're putting him, in a division that has a ton of pitchers parks in there as well. Not to mention the fact that, he seemed to show signs of improvement last year. I think he kind of upticked in a little bit in his velocity, and he and his control was significantly better. Going into last night's game where Wacha, I think threw 6 scoreless for another win.
Yeah.
All right. So if you include that, then 18-4 over his last 35 starts with a sub-3 ERA. That's what Walker's done between all of last year and this season. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I drafted him in round 23 of my NFBC main event. That's a 15-team league.
Walker? Yeah.
I also drafted Elias Diaz in round 27. Now, has he been like sensational? But to have a catcher with a 295 average, 6 homers, 33 RBIs, that is a big deal. Now, I drafted Bobby Miller in round 28, but I cut him after the first week because he wasn't on the major league team. That sucks. I could have used him right now. Pitching's been pretty good. I'm in third place in that league. It's just I don't have enough speed.
I got Walker. Here you go. In the FSGA, I got him in round 26 of a 14-teamer. I mean, so Walker's he's my best pitcher for that
that's
price.
Crazy.
What?
He's your best pitcher, really?
No. I mean for the price. What I'm saying,
price,
as far as this goes. No, is he my best pitcher? No, I've got fucking Luis Castillo. I've got Logan Gilbert, Pablo Lopez, Chris Bassett. Bassett's been meh. Eovaldi's been stable. Kopech has improved significantly. But here you go. So Walker.
Dude, go ahead. I thought my FSGA league was horrible, so I have to win this league because I was trashing them on air when they brought me on. So in that league, Eovaldi round 21, Eflin round 25, Soler round 27.
Okay.
Come on, man. Wait.
All right, here we go. FSGA 14-teamers. Let's start at round 21 and give me your picks at 21. Where were you?
21 and on?
Yeah.
Eovaldi.
You give one, I'll give one. You give one, I'll give one.
Eovaldi in 21.
All right. Brendan Donovan at 21 for me.
Yeah,
so okay,
we both cooled off.
He's definitely cooled off, but he can pick it up.
Great.
Yeah, Eovaldi's been great. I got him I took him in the 18th in that league. But all right. So I've got Donovan, you've got Eovaldi at 21. At 22, I've got Friedel.
Hayden Wesneski.
Okay. 23.
Christian Bethencourt.
Are you sitting down here, Adam?
Yeah.
Carlos Estevez.
Oh man, I was so off on him. I didn't think he was going to keep the job.
That has been unbelievable. I have him and Camilo Doval as my closers in this league.
Yeah, I have Romano, Fairbanks, Adam, Will Smith.
Oh, Fairbanks just got activated today.
I know. I don't have him or Adam in the lineup for this week.
Not that they're going to take Jason Adam out of the spot.
They'll probably split it at this point. Fairbanks just cannot stay healthy though.
No, he definitely cannot. All right. 24, I took Will Benson.
Michael Fulmer.
All right, so we both kind of crapped the bed there. 25, I took Reese McGuire.
Zach Eflin.
Oh, that's a good one. Damn, that's a good one. 26, I took Walker.
Reynaldo Lopez.
All right, I win. 27, I took Clevenger.
Jorge Soler.
You easily crushed that one. 28, who'd you take?
Trevor Story, because I knew there was IL spots. So I'm like, let me draft and put him on the IL.
All right, I took Joey Wendell just because I'm an idiot. Well, no, I had no middle infield depth at all. And he's got that, nice little thing. 29.
Nick Fortes, second catcher.
All right, Nolan Gorman for me.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, he's ice cold right now, but overall, he's like top 5 RBIs, I believe, in the NL.
Yeah. I mean, and that's that's the thing, man. Where we are in the standings and everything like that, that's, it's about those late round picks hitting. It's about making sensible picks. Like Will Benson, I think, can still pan out if he, hits a little better, gets on base a little bit more because he's got speed and he can help me out with that round. But like I'm looking at some of these other, late picks, and yeah, there are a lot of there are more bad ones than there are good ones.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'm looking at some of the teams next to me. Like they didn't even hit on one late round pick.
Yeah. I'm looking at, here you go. Right next to me, in front of me was Anthony Perry and the software. Yeah, I mean, Meadows, Joey Bart, Laureano, Bailey Ober, not bad at
No, Ober's
24.
been very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent. He wasn't
Dylan
slated
Dodd,
to make the rotation to start, though.
Yeah. Dylan Dodd, Andy Rodriguez, Eduardo Escobar, Jose Siri, and Mike Soroka. Siri's not terrible.
Oh my God, this one maybe had. Man, there are some horrendous picks, and I get it; it's late. But look, we both had like what 3 to 4 guys that have really been big contributors. I mean, that's major. I mean, I got two top starting pitchers, Eovaldi and Eflin, and Soler. I mean, that's 20 homers and 2 great starting pitchers, man. I mean, that's big that late. That's the key to having success. Obviously, working the waiver wire too, and clearly you have to have early picks that are the base of the offense.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I'd say my first 5 rounds, I guess all of them are pretty good. Acuna, Devers, Strider, Albies, Romano. I did take O'Neal Cruz in round 6.
I have Acuna, Lindor,
Yeah,
Jazz Chisholm, hurt, Castillo, Abreu at 5, Camilo Doval at 6.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna happen. You're gonna miss on some picks.
Yeah. I loved my Bryce Harper in the 12th because he's been back. And
yeah, I was off that. I did not. I mean, he back way sooner than I thought.
Way sooner than anybody thought.
Yeah. So and in this format, because you have the unlimited ILs, it certainly made sense. But he went in round 11 in mine. So I passed on him in round 11 for Jeffrey Springs, which looked like it was going to be a good pick.
Yeah, for like the first 4 or 5 starts, absolutely. And then he's done.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so there we go. A little check-in on our fantasy teams, a little check-in with some waiver names for you guys to take a look at here.
I'll have more. Make sure you check it out. Saturday morning Fab article. Obviously, there'll be things that happen between now and then, so I'll have you updated. And again, if you've been reading the article all year, you should have had Ellie De La Cruz early, because I put him in there weeks ago.
De La Cruz early. That's why I hate these FSGA leagues, because you can't fucking speculate on a guy like 2 weeks down the road.
I'm assuming you had didn't have enough FAP to get him like me, right?
Oh yeah, nothing. I have anything close to what it was.
Yeah, he went for where is it? Oh, he went for $708.
Oh, okay. He went for like 580 something in mine.
What was my bid? I think it was like 4. No, what did I go? I think I went 322 because I got about 5 something. So
I put 67 on him.
I went 322. He went 708. So I don't even think I was the runner up, right? No. Yeah, there was a $600 bid, a 550, a 431, all ahead of me. So I knew I wasn't getting him. I didn't get him anywhere. I fell $5 short in the NFBC Online Championship.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, that's really hurts.
That definitely hurts.
And then in labor, I knew Mish had the most money. I'm like, he's definitely going to get him, and he did.
Oh, Craig Mish, everybody. Shout out for Craig Mish. I haven't spoken to Mish in a while. I might have to just give him a call right after this pod. Just be like, yo, what's up, dude? We should call him right here from the pod.
We should.
I don't even know. Am I able to do that? Well, hey, Craig, Howard Bender, Adam Ronis here, live on the Cash It podcast.
What's going on? We both haven't spoke to you in a while. How's life?
He's probably at like Hayes's baseball game right now or something.
Yeah, the Marlins are off today, right?
They are indeed. So he's probably coaching his son's team right now. But yeah, I got to give him a little shout. All right, well, hey, maybe with basketball done now, the NBA is done. Adam Ronis will obviously be working on his NFL rankings. My rankings are up as part of the fantasy football draft guide already. We'll get Adam's in there as well. Andrew Cooper's rankings are up too. Maybe we get you involved in some of the best bet articles for MLB, Adam. How about that?
We can work on that.
See, we can work on that. Wouldn't that be nice if somebody helped take a little something off of my plate? Yeesh. Doing so much, Adam, so much. All right. But that's going to do it for us here on today's episode of Cash It. Again, Adam Ronis' article for Waiver Wire, that's coming out on Saturday. That's a don't miss. It is free. I highly recommend the All-Pro subscription to Fantasy Alarm. You get the draft guide if you want that for fantasy football. Not to mention, it gets you every sport, gets you all your stuff. I almost binked a GPP the other night, by the way. How about that one in MLB of all things?
Nice.
Pretty crazy. I was cruising and everything was great. I was like, my God, I got my hitters were all hitting, and I still had George Kirby and Joe Musgrove to go, and so you're like, wow, I got both fucking pitchers still to go, and I'm sitting in this spot. Things kind of tightened up as the night went on. Musgrove wasn't great, but Kirby was fantastic. So I'm like looking through everything, and I'm like, wow, this is great. This is great. I'm a couple of thousand. Make me feel good. It was a $12 entry fee. And then I turn around and I look, and the fucking Phillies score 7 runs in the 8th and 9th inning in that blowout game on Tuesday. That like 5 or 6 dudes who had like Philly stacks leapfrogged me and pushed me down. I won $150. I mean, I 12x'd my money, which is great, but what could have been, Adam? What could have been?
That's how it is, unfortunately, man. Sometimes just that one game ruins things.
It did. I mean, listen, I have Castellanos, I've got Bryce Harper, I've got all these guys in my season-long fantasy team, so I couldn't be too upset by it. But yeah, it was a little stick in the craw there. But there you go, folks. Get all the MLB DFS stuff. I'll be on the playbook tomorrow, actually. Friday. So when you're listening to this, I'll have a playbook that'll probably already be up and posted on the website. So you're not going to want to miss out on that at all. Again, fantasyalarm.com/Howard. Promo code Howard gets you 50% off your first 6 months of your subscription. It includes the draft guide. It will include the cheat sheet, everything that comes in with all of that. The All-Pro subscription is definitely the way to go. You can just buy the draft guide on its own if you want. So just go to fantasyalarm.com/draft guide, and that'll carry you through. So again, lots of stuff going on. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned. For Adam Ronis, I'm Howard Bender. This has been the Cash It Podcast. We'll catch you next time.